Hey, everybody. Welcome back to your fave advocacy podcast. It's
Welcome.
Reagan and
Hey,
Courtney,
girl,
and we're
hey.
here. We're here with our special guest today, Ellie from the
Whoop,
AP Life.
whoop.
Hey,
Hey, girl,
glad to be
hey.
here. I'm nervous. I've never
Hey,
been on a podcast before.
I'm
it's our
surprised by
first
that.
podcast.
You're very
I know, me
popular.
too.
You're very popular.
I
Well, no,
know.
I don't think people really think of me as an individual person because I don't do a lot of like FaceTime for myself.
I'm going to say false
I
on
do
that,
just like a
though.
lot.
I put out a thing that said on Instagram, who do you guys want to see come on the podcast? And I think you got 6 votes. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
everyone wants
And
to
it wasn't from us.
It's just Ellie.
Just
Oh,
Ellie.
thank you. Yeah, the 3 of us voted, and
Twice.
then there were 3 other people who are like my family members.
Yeah, Lexi's voting 6 times.
Yeah, she doesn't have social media,
Um,
but she would vote for me because she thinks I'm cool.
That's true. That's good. That's amazing.
My dog just went flying into
What was
the
that
pen.
face
My
for?
dog
Okay?
just flew into her pen, and she's supposed to be on like dog rest, and she's just like my children. She's like
Jumping
climbing on the top. But tell us about you. Who are you? What's your background? What do you do? Loaded
Okay,
question.
I'm Ellie. I have Lexi is autistic. She's 16. And then Ainsley, we adopted internationally when she was 2.5. She is now 14. She's my ADHD girl / gifted. They are so very different, which keeps me on my toes because the parenting style for both of them is very different. Their needs are very different. But it has been a wild ride. And before having Lexi, I was a graphic designer, and I worked designing websites for a while. Once Lexi was born, I started doing more like print related things and freelance work as I had time in my schedule. And then in 2023, once we moved to Arizona and Lexi was like situated in her new school and everything and was doing really well, I was like, I think it's time for me to like bring that back into my life, like as more of like a
Yes.
permanent thing, because it's always been my passion. I myself have ADHD, so I have a lot of like special interests that occupy my time. And that has always been one of the things that I've loved doing. So I figured, why not spend my time doing that and then maybe try to like help support my family in some way. And so I've been doing that ever since, and I absolutely love it. It's been really great. It's been a learning curve with social media because
Yes.
I was not on social media for an extended period of time.
Oh.
So
no,
this
here
is
we go.
so
I'm
sometimes
just gonna say this.
sometimes I'll send memes
Old
to
memes.
Quirt and Reagan, and they're like,
We already see
they're like,
it. We already
oh,
saw it.
okay, like
She
that was
sent
from
the
like
one with that
2020.
woman. Yeah, that woman was doing the like Missy Elliott. Like she was, what was it, like at a
Oh,
festival?
yes.
She's like, "Is your
That
friend
one's
in the
my
pavilion
favorite.
yet?"
Yeah, she's
I
singing.
love that. And Ellie
Mhm.
sent it like it was brand new. I
Love
was like,
that one.
girl, that's from 2020. And then
I've
I
never
was
seen
like,
it.
where were you? And then she dropped a bomb, and I felt like an a-hole. You gonna say it?
Yeah, I was like, Courtney, my mom died in 2017.
I was like, oh
So
my
I was
God, I
off of social media for like several
I thought-
years.
I was like, she's never gonna speak
Yeah,
to me
and I mean,
again. But that's why I love you.
yeah,
You
right.
use
No.
your humor real dark.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Use my
but
dark
no.
humor to cope with life. That's
Yes.
that's who I am.
I love it. So explain your
love it too.
style, like for people that don't know you, because obviously we all know you and love you, and we love your style and the things that you create. Yes, let's show
I
her.
finally got the poster on the wall, but it's
Yeah.
like crooked,
She got her
and
poster up.
I'm blocking it. I just
Too
don't have
low
my shit
behind her head.
together. Yes, tell us
It
your
looks so good, Courtney
Totally.
naked, but great. So,
Tell us your style.
I am an 80s baby. I was born in 81, geriatric millennial. Um, I just have like, growing up, I had a lot of special interests that were really important to me. And I just have really good memories of, the 80s and growing up. Um, we did a lot of like playing outside. I mean, it was a totally different world, as everyone knows. We didn't have, high tech. We had a color TV, which was exciting. My dad was actually really, really into technology. So we did get in like an Atari. We had, he even
Ooh.
had a synthesizer,
Oh,
which
wow.
was pretty sweet.
That's
Could like
Yeah.
drop beats on that. And it had Axel F on it. So it would play that, like if you pushed a button. It's really a shame that he got rid of that along the line. But I'm just like, I just, that whole time period feels very magical to me.
Mhm.
And so I think that as we become adults and things aren't quite as fun anymore, you're paying bills, you're taking care of kids, um, we still deserve to have a little bit of fun in our lives and to be
Yes.
reminded of that part of childhood that was really special to us. And I also think that some people tend to lose themselves in motherhood. And I was
Mhm.
determined that I would still be a good mom, but I wasn't going to like lose who I was. And so
Yes.
these are kind of like reminders that like, even back then, like you're still you've grown, you've changed, hopefully for the better, but you still deserve to like enjoy some things that you enjoyed back then too. It's okay. Like I think my daughter has
Right.
taught me above all that like age appropriateness can go out the
Doesn't
window
matter. Yeah.
sometimes.
Yes.
It's like,
So true.
she loves things and she's not like comparing like, oh, do my other peers still watch Daniel
Yeah.
Tiger? Do
Care
my
about
other
that.
peers
Mhm.
still like to listen to, you know, Baby Shark, whatever. It doesn't
Right.
matter to her because she is just very much who she is. And so I
Yeah.
think that we can also embrace who we are and what brings us joy.
Aw.
And so I do a lot of retro
Mhm.
callbacks, but I bring in nostalgia to it. And I think that because I don't just design for moms, I don't just design for
Right.
kids, I design for anyone and everyone that either is neurodivergent or loves someone who is neurodivergent. And so there's a lot of adults that are autistic that are still really into like Care Bears or Snoopy
Right.
or Rainbow Bright. And so like to have a a shirt or some type of merch. Yeah,
Yeah.
like my girl Court here with
Yeah.
her mug.
Yeah.
Um, it's like it's bringing together like the representation in the community. Like, how cool would it be to have like your special interest represent
Mhm.
you as a person, as an
Oh, I
autistic
love
individual,
that.
or celebrate
Yes.
neurodiversity? And so I always draw everything by hand, or I draw everything either by hand on paper and then scan it in, or I will do it directly on my tablet. So this
She's
is
the
not
real
like an AI.
deal.
I never use
No.
AI.
Yeah, she's for real. And she like
She's
I
got the
always am telling Ellie,
talent.
I'm like, you need to post more like videos of you actually doing the drawing because it's
I know.
so cool. Like
I
I love watching
know.
that kind of stuff and those like videos. I'm like, you have to post more of these.
Which
Like I
have
know it's
you
a
been
pain in the butt
drawing
to
since you were a kid,
record.
or like where did this talent start?
Yes, actually, I have all of these books that say illustrations by Ellie, author Ellie. Well, my maiden name was Clifton, so it's like Ellie
Aww.
Clifton, Ellie
Oh,
Clifton.
so
It's just
cute.
so my parents saved all of these, and I yeah, so I have art projects. I was always like trying to create, just as I was always thinking like, what can I invent? What can I create? What can I do? Like I thought I was going to author books when I was older, but
Mm.
that took too much time with my ADHD. So I would start
Mm.
writing a book and
Hmm.
then I'd get tired of it and I'd be done. And I'd start writing another one and then I'd get tired of it and then I'd be done. And so I realized that like I also really loved art and like creating art and visuals. And it was perfect for my ADHD because even though it still takes time, it's
Right.
not like coming up with a whole plot for a novel,
Right.
and it was more instant gratification. And so I kind of like honed into that. And in high school, I was like the editor of the yearbook. I did like newspaper stuff. I was like very into the arts, and that carried through into college. I went to school for graphic design, and I ended up being like
Oh, cool.
publishing and
I love
designing
that.
our art and literary publication for our college. So
Ooh.
I just have always just wanted to create. And when I'm not creating, I can tell that like I am just not feeling like myself. I feel so when Lexi was younger and her needs were a lot higher,
Mhm.
I was battling a lot of depression, not over her. It was mainly just like feeling like I didn't know who
Lost.
I was
Yeah.
anymore, and I wasn't like getting that outlet because her needs were she had pretty high needs at the time. And so I've realized that like it needs to be part of my life in some way or form. And like, why not blend my passion for advocacy and the neurodivergent community
No, I
with
love that.
like my passion for art and design? And so that's
Mhm.
kind of like how they
Yeah.
meet together
The
and
AP life.
That's
create the
awesome.
AP life. So yeah.
Yes. Um, yeah. So if do you want to talk about, Lexi's diagnosis, that type of stuff? I know it's really
Yeah.
interesting, especially to me, like talking to
Yes.
parents of older children and like how that looks and how different it is. Because I know even like for us with Gigi, it is so different than it is now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, when and just a little bit of a personal note, my husband and I went through infertility prior to
Hmm.
conceiving Lexi, and so Lexi was kind of like our miracle kid.
Hmm.
I mean,
Oh.
Yeah.
she is our miracle kid. She wasn't, she is, but she when it was our first child, and then like my pregnancy was really difficult just in general. Like I was very sick,
Mm.
and near the end of it, she was growth restricted, and so they ended up inducing me early. But this is back in like 2009. So once we had her, and she was not really reaching typical milestones.
Mhm.
And so we ended up getting her into therapies pretty early. The main thing was that she didn't ever want to eat.
Mm.
She was considered failure to thrive, and she lacked coordination with suck, swallow, breathe as an infant. And so
Mm.
we ended up having to use like a special bottle for her to like help pace her
Oh,
on it,
wow.
because she would like drink, 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 turn blue.
Oh
We'd have to
gosh.
like take the bottle
Oh my
out of her
gosh.
mouth so she would breathe, and then we'd put it back in again. So that was like there were lots of indicators, and then like she wasn't reaching like physical milestones. Um, and so she started therapies at like maybe 6 months old. At the time, 2009, like social media wasn't really a thing. Like you didn't
Mhm.
really have a lot of that. If you didn't know someone in person that had like, or knew of like, I mean, support groups, I don't even know if they existed. I didn't know about them.
Mhm.
But it felt extremely isolating at the time. Lexi was always like such a joy. She was just like, she was a pretty chill kid, but
Yeah.
she was stressful because of her medical stuff, and so
Mhm.
it was kind of like I want her to eat because I want her to live, so let's
Right.
like figure out how to get her to eat. Now that we know that she's
Right.
autistic, it makes a lot more sense now. There's a lot of sensory stuff involved. She's
Mhm.
very, very, and she has dyspraxia, anapraxia. So, like all of the things that you would normally, like a neurotypical child would develop just instinctually,
Mhm.
um, she had to learn how to do. And so, like
Right.
everything that she knows how to do now was like learned, which is
Mhm.
when you think about how much
Aw.
work that takes, like
A lot.
she's my hero. I
Yeah.
I don't know like the amount of effort she has had to put into learning how to just like
Right.
get up off the floor,
Mhm.
chew food, swallow food, like all of
Mhm.
that. None of that
Yeah.
was like she just came knowing how to do it, you know?
Right.
So watching her through therapies and stuff has been insane and so awesome. Like it's
Mhm.
just like, wow, she's worked so hard. Like she's probably the hardest working person I've ever met in my life.
Right.
Um so it was really cool to see her rise above like basically essentially program her brain in a different way
Mhm.
that is not, the way that it's normally programmed, but like your pathways just kind of like you make new pathways and your brain is like such a resilient thing. It's just really, really rad. But growing like I have always
Yeah.
delighted in my kid. I think she's like the coolest. She has the
Mhm.
sweetest disposition. And
Mm.
she would never say a mean thing or think a mean thing about
Aw.
anyone. Like she just loves everyone. If you show her love, she's gonna love you immediately. But there was no support. Like if
Mm.
if I felt like, okay, I have this really rad kid, but she's got a lot of things that are not typical that
Mhm.
I can't relate to other parents about. And I
Right.
can't even
Right.
like discuss these things because they're not going to understand
Right.
what I'm going through. And or just like understand like what our journey is like. And it's not that
Mhm.
I
Right.
wanted sympathy. I just wanted someone to bounce ideas off
Talk
of. I
to.
wanted
Yeah.
people to be able to talk to about it that could
Right.
relate. Um, and so, yeah, like I would say that it wasn't until she was in elementary school, and then I would try to connect with some of the other parents that also had kids in the significant support needs program.
Mhm.
Um, but that was tricky too because
Uh,
it was a public school and they were fantastic. They were so good
Mhm.
with Lexi. Um, but a lot of the parents were working, or
Mhm.
they're just everybody's lives are just so packed. It was really hard to connect, and I did make some connections along the way that I'm grateful for. But it is nothing like it is now, where you
Right.
get on social media and you can like instantly find parents that have like other insights and just things to share with you that you would have never thought of before.
Mhm. Yeah. So what
And
year was she diagnosed?
so she was diagnosed in
oh wow. Yeah.
2016. So it's kind of late
Okay.
because, again, she's a girl.
Wow.
And the information that we had was kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, autism is they don't make eye
Ridiculous.
contact, they don't
Mhm.
like people, they want
Right.
to be by themselves, which is
Mhm.
none of those things are true of Lexi. Her eye
Right.
contact isn't the same. Like she definitely does not make as much eye contact as a
Mhm.
neurotypical individual, but she does make it. And
Mhm.
so I figured, and she does speak. Um, and she loves people. She
Yeah.
like wants to be around people all the
How old
time.
how
Like
Okay.
old was she when she got that
she's like an
diagnosis?
extrovert, you
Mhm.
know. She was
Wow.
8, but
Oh,
I was on the
wow.
list for
Okay.
like 2 years to have her evaluated by Children's Hospital. So once she went into kindergarten, she was still
Okay.
under like her IEP was like developmental
Right.
disability.
Okay.
So it was just like that broad
Mhm.
thing. And honestly, it was because I hadn't even considered autism because of the stereotypes out there. And again, I didn't have a community. I could be like, hey, my daughter does this and this and this,
Right.
and
Mhm.
have someone be like, oh, have you had her tested for autism?
Right.
Because people just, you know,
Yep.
there was just the
Right.
stereotype that what a lot of people call boy autism,
Mhm.
stereotypes.
Yeah.
And so anyway, like I wish that I would have gotten her in sooner,
Mhm.
but it was important for us to be evaluated by
Right.
Children's Hospital. I wanted like a full evaluation that was accurate. I wanted them to evaluate her for more than for just anything. Like
Mhm.
we brought her in just like, hey, like evaluate our kid and tell us what we can do to help her be successful. Like
Right.
I don't she is who she is, whatever
Right.
the diagnosis is,
Right. It
I'm
doesn't change
cool
her
with.
as a
Like
person.
she's
Correct.
not
She's
that
still going to be
doesn't
the
change who she is
same.
as a person.
Mhm.
Exactly. it just helps us be more supportive and be able to like help her reach her like fullest potential and where she wants. And I don't even like using the word potential, but like
Right.
basically do right by
And were
her.
you in
You know,
Arizona
give her
when
the
you got that
support she
diagnosis?
needs. We were in Colorado, so we were evaluated by Denver Children's Hospital. It was fantastic. I have some I have a
Ooh, share it.
I'm hesitant
Yes,
to share the story, but
please.
it's also kind of
We love
funny,
a
so I'm
good
going to
we
share
love
it
a good
anyway.
funny story.
So I take her in to be evaluated. Steven's there too. That's my husband. And the first thing they do is like kind of like a play therapy type situation. It's like a little like dollhouse. There's a little girl. There's like a bed. There's a mom. There's like there's probably other things too. So the very first thing she does, and we know that like kids are into like,
Yes.
especially kids that are autistic are into repetition. So what she does is the very first thing, she takes the little girl and the girl is jumping on the bed. And the mom comes in screaming at her and says, "You stop that right now."
Oh
And she's
my
like going
God.
like this with the mom and the doll and the baby. And I was like, okay, please don't call CPS. We literally never even yell at her.
Oh no.
Like, I don't know where this is coming from.
Oh my
But she
God.
proceeded to do that over and over again. That's the only way she would play with it.
Oh
The daughter
no.
would,
Oh
the
my
little girl would jump
gosh.
on the bed and the mom would come and rail at her and yell, like, "Stop
Oh
that
my
right now!"
gosh.
And like Stephen and I looked at each
Holy
other, we're like,
shit.
that's it. CPS
Yeah.
is coming, they're taking her. Like, that's the end of that
Oh
evaluation.
my gosh.
So thankfully
Oh,
the
really?
person
They didn't.
evaluating her was like, we see this a
Okay.
lot. Like, they lack so much control and autonomy in their everyday life that
Oh, okay.
they gain that control through play.
Mhm.
And I'm like, literally, we don't even yell at her because it backfires. Like, she doesn't even like,
Right.
we raise our voice at her, like it will send her like
Mhm.
over the edge and she
Right.
will be dysregulated
Right.
forever. Like, so anyway, I was just really grateful that the lady was
Amazing.
like, oh no, we see this like all the time. Like, they're grasping for control when they pretend. So often they will pretend to be like the person in charge and they will
Mhm.
like kind of overuse their authority.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's a
yeah,
good story.
that was the beginning of our
So
and
when did you
thankfully
move
she's
to
still with us
Arizona?
today. So
Yeah.
I moved to Arizona in 2023. Colorado, we really did love Colorado, but we
Right.
were looking at like the long term for Lexi and her future. And also, she was in middle school at the time, and things just are drastically different when your child moves from like public elementary school to public middle school.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, yes. That's where we were
I'm
at last
scared.
year. It's
Yeah.
scary. It's scary.
Yes. So it was like in elementary school, there are so many opportunities
Right.
for them to be like involved with
Mhm.
their
Their
typical
peers, yeah.
peers.
Mhm.
In middle school, it just the gap is wider.
It
And
widens,
so
yeah.
at least for some kids. And so Lexi was in a contained classroom for most of the day with very like I would probably say like maybe 7 other kids. It wasn't like a huge group of kids.
Mhm.
And she would only and which is fine. Like
Right.
I don't have anything against that. It was that she thrives on like being included in
Mhm.
things, and I think she could sense that like there were so
Mm.
many other things going on in the school that she wasn't included in.
Right.
And specifically, she loves
Aw.
drama, and she was in the drama class for an elective, and we had specifically told the drama teacher she'd really love to be part of like the production.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, even though the drama teacher knew, um, we didn't even get
What?
notified when tryouts were or anything. And Lexi's
What?
not going to relay that information. No, they
Right.
didn't tell us. Like, and I realize in middle school, they're trying to make the neurotypical kids more independent. And so they're
Mhm.
like having them deal with like, like it's
Their
their
own.
responsibility
Mhm.
to remember when tryouts are and everything. But like my child needs the teacher still to be
Mhm.
able to relay that information to us so
Yeah.
that we can help support her. we didn't get any of that information. And so she just completely missed out on being even like considered to even do like stage work or anything.
Right.
So then it was,
Oh,
and
that would have
I
been
think that like, and it was
perfect.
a Disney production too, and she's like
Oh,
obsessed with
yeah.
Disney. So it was just, yeah, it would have been. So it was just kind of like a wake up call. And we were looking at Arizona, and we saw like all of the different benefits, and
Mm-hmm.
we
Sure.
saw a school
Security.
here that, and I'm not going to say the name just because just for privacy and security, but also like she's been on the cheer team.
Oh,
That's
They've gone to the
wow.
Special
amazing.
Olympics and gotten a gold medal.
That's
She's now
amazing.
in her school's theater production, and she's the mayor in the SpongeBob musical, which is
Oh,
Ooh.
happening next week, and I'm super pumped about it.
Aw, that's fun.
I know. So she can, like, in this school, like, she doesn't feel like she is, like, she can be part of anything. She was in the
Mm-hmm.
talent show, and she doesn't even sing on key, but like everybody's so supportive and they're
Oh,
all
we love
clapping.
that.
Nobody is laughing or making fun of her or
Mm-hmm.
um, so it's
I
been
love
really
that.
wonderful. And so that was one of the reasons we moved here. And then also Arizona long-term care does not have a wait list. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of states have
Yeah.
wait lists for that sort of service.
Yeah.
So she's on Arizona long-term care, which is kind of like, it's like a Medicaid
Mm-hmm.
type of program. And that's going to be really important to support her as an adult too. So,
Yes.
and Stephen has family here too. So it all kind
Awesome.
of came together and made sense
Yes.
for us to
Well,
do
I
that.
love that because we live here too.
Blah,
I
blah, blah,
know.
blah, blah.
Well, that's how
Every
we were able to meet.
yeah.
Which
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
told you,
Amy brought
Reagan.
us together.
Courtney's just mad because she
I'm
doesn't live
jealous. I
here.
have FOMO. But let's tell everyone how we did like initially meet. I mean, obviously online, but what was it that brought us together? Do you remember?
So I reached out to Court like pretty soon after, I don't know. It was a little ways into being on, like, having an Instagram account that was actually I was actually using, my business account. Um, she was like popping up in my algorithm, and I
Mm-hmm.
just loved how I think that we bonded over. It was something about like terms or symbols or something used in the community, and how like it was kind of like it's like, I don't know, like people are being like nitpicky about certain things, and we were just kind of like on the same page about how like we're all supporting our kids, we all love our kids, like, and you know, I don't know. I just really loved
I
Court's
think it
vibe.
was
Like she
something
was just very
someone came
positive
after
and
me.
like just
Someone came
Mm-hmm.
after me and I was
really
like kind
like,
of upset cuz like I think I used the wrong word and I don't even remember what word it was. It was something very
yes.
small. I don't know.
Okay.
Someone went
I think I
off on
remember that.
me. And I think that's how we connected cuz I think someone might have I don't know, did someone go off on you
Mm-hmm.
too or something? It was like a shirt you had or something.
Yeah,
And
they
then
did the
like
same
we
to
were
me.
like
Oh.
Yeah. Well, and then dude, we're just trying, like, we love our kids, like, we're just trying to do the best that we can, and like and we had both been pretty
yes, like the
intensely
same week.
attacked
So
over
then
it,
we're
and so yeah, I was like,
hey,
hey, I saw your
hey,
reel and I totally relate to this. Yeah, I know. I'm
hey.
like,
But then, and then we started talking, and I was like,
anyway,
oh my
it was
gosh, you're in
like,
Arizona. You
yay,
have to
like
meet my
we're
friend
like,
Reagan. And then you guys went out and met, and we haven't even met in person yet. I'm like jealous. But
yeah,
we all met.
Mm-hmm.
I
yep,
know. I don't live there.
I know.
I know, yeah,
Maybe one day. But we all met. Yeah, right. I
someday.
can't afford that, guys. There was a
So
meme. There was something on Instagram that said Arizona is like the most expensive place to move to right now. Yeah, that's what it said.
right now it is, I think.
And so
Is
I sent
it?
it to Reagan and she just
It
responds,
was like an
move here.
article. Yeah. I saw that.
I always wonder what metrics they're using
Yeah, but
though.
I doubt that because I'm
I
like
don't know.
California, New York, like
Even
Yeah,
Washington
well,
State. Like,
Washington.
maybe one
yeah.
day. But so we all met.
I don't know.
I can't
Anyways.
afford that in this economy. We all met in Houston
In
for
Houston.
the Lola events in September. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anyone, but you guys already knew each other. Didn't you fly
Yeah.
out together? Did you fly out together?
No, I
Oh,
flew out
that's right. You flew
early.
out the day before.
No.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
Okay, because you
We
were on
didn't fly out
different
together.
airlines. Okay.
Yeah, I
But
flew out the day
that's how we all
before
met
to
in
help
person. I feel like,
set up.
and it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
awkward at all. I don't think so. Even though Reagan said everyone looked the same online but me, because I
No.
show up online looking up.
You
Oh,
looked
you look really good online, not in
You
person.
looked really good in person.
No. She was like,
It was like the
girl, like
opposite
you're.
of what you
I was like, Reagan, I
hear.
showered. She's like, you don't look
You
like that
should
online.
be
I'm like, because I'm a
thankful.
hot mess online. But then I didn't have my kids with me in Texas, so I could take a shower, maybe put on some makeup. But we had fun. We went on a
True. Yeah.
millennial.
True.
We went
Take
on
a
a
shower,
millennial
put on
bar crawl.
makeup.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about puberty. Obviously, like you're in the game, and I am.
Yeah. You're getting close.
coming. No, I'm in the game too.
No, that's right. You are.
Yeah,
You are
we're
in the game.
game
Yep, you're in the game.
also. So I wanted
Yeah.
to just chat about that. I think a lot of, especially moms of younger girls and boys, I mean, because puberty affects everybody, just kind of are nervous, obviously, about like what's going to happen, how are our kids going to handle it? Because it is a lot like sensory wise, and all the things are changing and hormones. And I know that like when Gigi was first diagnosed, I was obviously worried because I'm like, what is this going to look like for her? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. So that was kind of like the thing that was looming in my brain was like, oh no.
It's coming.
Because you always have like you look ahead and like I remember when I'm like, oh,
That's
when
what
she
I'm
starts
worried about
losing
right now.
teeth, that's gonna be so hard. Or when she, starts I know. I'm like, my poor, like, orally averse child is going to have teeth falling out of her mouth. And like, how are we going to deal with that? How are we going to deal with all sorts of things?
Yeah.
And that was definitely something that was looming. And so what I will say is that things really amped up like a few years before. I think it's just like nervous system overload. Their body is going through so many changes.
Yeah.
But what I will say that hopefully gives some hope to others is that once we like went through it and she became a woman, there were challenges with that too. I will not lie. However, I feel like there's so much developmental growth that happens during that time. Their brains have another like big growth spurt essentially. And there were some things that like skills that she obtained during that time that I didn't know that she would. Not that I boxed her in, but I was thinking, like by the time they get to be like 12 or something, you're thinking, well, I don't know. Is she going to do this or
Right.
not? I don't know.
Right.
But then once she did start like go through puberty and have like all the big changes, she really is doing things that I am so impressed with. I feel like she's just developed in so many different ways that have made her her autonomy has grown, her independence has grown, her confidence has grown in a lot of ways, and her desire to also be independent in some ways that she didn't desire to be before.
Right.
And although she will need supports throughout her life, it's really been exciting to see her do these things that used to be. It's really been exciting.
That is. It's very exciting.
Great.
It was
Okay,
great.
so
I think like obviously it's scary going through this big change for a lot of our kids because everything is so affects them so differently.
Yeah.
It's frightening for you if you haven't gone through it. And like obviously the anticipation of going through it, like for years I was like waiting for puberty to happen. And now that it's
Yeah.
happened, I'm like, I'm relieved. I'm so relieved that we're like on it now. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I agree. I think that I think that this is kind of a defense mechanism for a lot of us. It's like, I think of the worst possible
Yes.
scenario.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then I want to prepare myself. So I'm thinking like, what is the worst thing that could happen?
Mm-hmm.
And, like she's like dysregulated all the time and just
Mm-hmm.
like is never herself again. But
Right.
obviously the reality of it is that's not usually the case. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that there's actually a lot of hope in like like I hope that others can feel some hope
Yeah.
and not be stuck in that like doom,
Scary.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, like feeling like it's looming.
Mm-hmm.
Um And obviously, I don't know what it's like to raise a boy or
Mm-hmm.
autistic boy, but with Lexi, there's challenges with like hygiene and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and we have learned to work through that. And there's like a lot of, if anyone ever wants to DM me personally and ask me any questions about that, I have lots of
Mm-hmm.
tips and ideas for that, so because I don't want to like share anything publicly, but
Yeah.
Right.
overall I feel like right now we have it really well under control, and that overall she understands that this happens, and
Mm-hmm.
she you have conversations with them like, as you don't need to go into more detail than they are asking for, or even if they're
Right.
not asking for it, like it can be very like simple. But I think that overall she was kind of excited.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you're becoming a woman, and
Right. Made it a
so
positive.
I just
yeah, and it wasn't scary, and it overall I think that it has been such a positive thing for us.
I
So
just
Mm-hmm.
love
hopefully
her.
That's
that
We
gives some
amazing.
people some
we
hope.
need another Lexi dancing video. I love her vibe.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love when she
She loves
dances.
to dance.
I like the
Wh-
videos that you do where you guys are doing like interacting. I love that one. I was
Yes.
like, yes, so
One that
good.
sticks out in my head
She
is when she's in the Jeep. There was like a song on and she was vibing
Oh yeah.
hard.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of them. There's like the Demi Lovato song, like Confident. She likes that one. She also really likes I'm Worth It by Fifth Harmony,
Yes.
like, or Worth It by Fifth Harmony. All the girl power songs, but she also really likes Brazilian funk. So that's all in
Nice.
Portuguese,
Oh
and
my gosh.
she's
Is it
That's
really into
really?
amazing.
those tracks too. Yeah. Yes.
I love that. I love that
So
And
we
so
are
much.
probably going to do a music video to one of those at
Yes.
some point, because she's
Into it.
I mean, it's going to be ridiculous, but that's just how we roll. Also, in the mornings, every morning to get her exercise, she puts on her headphones. She listens to the exact same song that's already on her Alexa, but she has it on her headphones too, and they're all
which
playing at
song?
different times. It depends. Like right now she's really into I Want You Back by NSYNC.
Yes.
Ooh, what a
I
vibe.
love
What a
So
that.
vibe.
she has the same dance she does every morning, but she will put on her headphones and she's in there sweating and she's getting her
Yeah,
morning
girl.
workout, and
I
she
love
dances
it.
it back and forth,
I love that.
because she doesn't want to be lazy, is what she told me, which is so funny because we don't even talk about that. Like, I don't exercise. I mean, I should, but I don't. And so it's not like she's gotten that from me. I don't know
Right.
where she has heard the lazy term, but I don't want to be lazy.
Aw.
I'm like, great. That's awesome. Good for you, girl. You get
Yeah.
it. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's so
anyway,
fun.
Oh my
And if
gosh.
yeah.
That's
anyone
amazing.
notices me popping out on this one, we're having a really bad storm in Tennessee, so just you're gonna get what you get with me. I might be frozen right now. I think my face is
Good. You're all
frozen while
good.
I'm talking about it. But let's end on, unless Reagan, you have anything else, but one thing. What's your favorite design you have? You have
Yes.
so many
Ooh,
good
Oh,
yes.
ones, but what is your personal favorite?
you know, that's a really difficult one
I
for
know you
me.
have so many
I
good
feel like it's
ones.
always my favorite. My favorite is usually the one I am working on right now or the one I just did, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as a general rule, because Care Bears are such like I had a cheer bear growing up that was very special to
Aw.
me. And I think that one's probably my favorite because I'm such a big Care Bear fan.
Yeah.
So good. I have it
But
in a
I'm
sweatshirt
also
too.
a big fan of the Warren G, which is
Mhm.
also on, on
Courtney's
your wall.
wall.
Crooked. It's
Because
crooked.
I I would literally call into the radio station back when you did this, and I would wait, and it would ring and ring and ring, and then sometimes it would pick up, and sometimes you wouldn't, and you could request it. And so
Mhm.
I remember requesting that one a lot. That and Coolio's Fantastic Voyage. So
Yes. Well, let's give
I
you
love that.
everyone your handle. Reagan and Ellie are my
Yes.
besties online, but if you don't follow, what is your handle, Ellie?
it is at the.ap.life.
Yes. Follow her. Check
Thank
out her
you.
art. Buy something because it's amazing. We love
You don't have
it.
to buy anything,
You have
but
to buy. If you're listening to this, you have to buy something.
Bye.
And she's got everything. She's got blankets, she's got cups, she's got notebooks, she's got stickers, she's got literally everything you could ever want.
Yes. I
Oh,
just did a
yes,
Lisa Frank
everything. And they're
one
all
too,
Lisa
and so
Frank.
I've got like
cute.
glitter stickers and notebooks and stuff.
You're
Oh
so
my
It's
cute.
God, I
really
love that
fun to do.
too.
And anyway, also, if you have a teenager, or even if you don't have a teenager, even if you have a child who, um, you're worried about like that transition from like childhood to puberty or whatever,
Mhm.
I'm always open. Like, send me a
Mm.
DM if you have any questions. I'm always happy to help in any way. So.
For sure. For sure. We love you. We love you so much.
Love
Love you
you. Thank you for
too.
coming
Thanks,
and
ladies.
joining
This has been so much
us.
less stressful than I thought.
Yay. I
See?
told
Thank
you she
you.
had a nightmare and it all went well, besides on my end.
I
So
did.
apologize.
It was
Love
My
you
Courtney.
guys.
nightmare was essentially what just happened to Courtney. Like just having like technical issues and not being able to like actually
Beyond the
record.
show.
So, but
Aw.
anyway,
Thank
I guess my
you.
nightmare was on your behalf, Court.
Sorry, Court.
All right. Well,
All
thank
right.
you, ladies.
Amazing. Thank you.